Hey friends, Mindy here. I have an unboxing for you today. I am going to be showing what is in this subscription kit to Archer and Olive. This is a quarterly kit. It releases 4 times a year. This one is the Celestial Wonders kit. If you have seen any of my unboxings in the past, you know I kind of have mixed feelings about these sub kits. I was really excited after the last quarter. It was a library theme. Everything in it was beautiful. I didn't have any issues, but we're back to having some problems. And so anyway, I'm just gonna get into it. I know I've mentioned this in videos past. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be moving forward with Archer and Olive, but that's a whole other discussion for another time. This is the box that it came in. For some reason this month I could not, it was like glued down so hard. I really had to kind of disassemble the box. So I've already pulled everything out of here. Usually the boxes you can kind of, you know, open and close. This one was just, I was having a hard time with it. But, you know, based on this, I was hoping in the colors, I was hoping that it would be kind of a box that I would get more use out of. But we will see. So the first thing that I want to show are the decorative tapes, or the washi tapes. There are 4 rolls, different designs. There's kind of a little like holographic one, and then just like the night sky, and then constellations, and then this black and gold one here. So they are a set of 4, and I do like that they have different varying sizes. I don't know how much I will get use out of all 4 sizes, but there are 4 in there this month. And the next thing is a stencil. This is a metal stencil. You can see it kind of has just the celestial type things. It also has the weather. I know for a lot of people that do bullet journaling, they will track weather and that kind of thing. That's not something I particularly do. So for me, the stencil isn't really something that I would necessarily use, but I do appreciate that it is a metal stencil, because it's gonna stand up to usage, and it does have your kind of, you know, your snow and your lightning and those kind of different things. And it's got the little water droplets here too. You could keep track of your hydration and that kind of stuff, which is another common feature for people to track in their bullet journals. I will say, with this box, I do feel like Archer and Olive has done a good job of kind of listening to some of the input that people have given about making sure that the items that are in this box are useful stationary items, versus just some in months past where we've gotten like weird picnic boxes that wouldn't even stand up straight, and those kinds of things that were just kind of added fluff. I do feel like they did a better job of trying to at least make these items useful, like stationary type items. I'm going to move this because there's a glare on it. So anyway, that came with a stencil. There was also a set of acrylographs. These are in a new nib size, and so they are in the 1.3 millimeter size. And the one thing that I would not have even noticed if I hadn't seen this on the Facebook group is that there are stickers in here so that you can label your markers. And then on the back of the box, they tell you what the names are. This is something that confuses me. I don't understand why they wouldn't just have them labeled. For a premium product, your markers should be labeled. In the past, they weren't labeled at all. And so the solution to that, I guess, is these stickers. But I just feel like they should be labeled. That's just personal opinion. I have not swatched all of them. I did open this one just to kind of see what the nib is like on it. You can kind of see here, it's 1.3. So what I like about it is it's more of the nib of like the 3.0s that they had before. And because the other nibs, like the plastic nibs, they just created a problem all the time. I have a ton of acrylographs, and they just became more of a nuisance to me than anything. I just could never get them to work right all the time. And so I'm actually excited to try these, and these are all metallic colors. So it's a new nib size and these beautiful colors. I actually really, really like this particular color palette of these kind of blues and purples and silver. I really like that color palette. And so I'm excited to use the Acrylograph markers. The next item is in this beautiful box, which is this writing pen, which is supposed to be a white pen. And I have already had to email the company about it. Mine does not work. So I assuming it's supposed to be like a gel pen. I've tried all of the gel pen tricks. It's not working. I don't anticipate that it is going to work. So there were 2 items in my box that I did email the customer service team. I will say that's another thing about Archer and Olive. Their customer service is great. The problem is you just need them too much. So that is my personal opinion. I don't want to have to need customer service every time I order something. The weight of this pen is really good. I kind of wish that it actually worked, although you know, the constellations are not really my favorite theme, but anyway, so I emailed them about this pen not working, and I also emailed them about the next item, which I'm going to show, which is this notepad. And I've already opened it up and everything and looked at it, just because I had seen some reviews of other people while I was waiting for my box to get here, of people that had gotten theirs and their reviews on Facebook groups and that kind of stuff. And so this is the notepad, and I don't know how well you can tell from this vantage point, but it is crooked. So it was assembled incorrectly. You can kind of see the line along here. And I saw some people say that, you can unscrew these and kind of shift it back into place. The problem is mine, even the end paper is hanging off the edge of this. So it is pearlescent paper, which is kind of an interesting idea, but it's kind of hard to write on. It took me a minute with several different pens. You can see I've kind of tested them. If you're going to use a pen on here, make sure it dries a really long time. I can think that the acrylographs are going to take a minute as well, having the paint pen aspect to that. But there are several colors. The other thing that I'm not super crazy about is that the back is not printed. I'm sure that was a cost thing just because of the fact that you're dealing with pearlescent papers, but every other notepad that they've ever done has been colored on both sides. So the other issue that I have in particular is this navy blue color. I don't know if you can even see them on there. There are dots on there. They're black. And so as a dot grade paper, it's pretty much useless. I guess if you were using it as a decorative paper, that would be one thing. I don't understand why they don't have a light color dot on here, because on the navy blue paper, there is a light color dot, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. The colors are beautiful. I really like the colors. I like the idea of it. A lot of times these notepads are what I will take and make journaling cards and stuff for other journals out of. And so I would prefer they be double-sided, and also it's a really thin paper, which you would expect for something that's like a specialty type pearlescent paper, but you can kind of see the different colors there. So these were the 2 items that I emailed them about. And basically I got an email back saying we refunded you $15, and we're letting our manufacturers know. So I'm not sure how I feel about that resolution. I do appreciate that they are very quick to do that. The refund was applied very promptly, and I really do appreciate that aspect of it. But at the same time, what they were saying was like, if you're going to have a dark colored paper, you need a white pen. Well, I don't have a white pen that is going to work. So I don't know how I feel about a $15 refund. I do realize that it's better than the option of them sending out another pen that's going to have the same problem, especially if there is a manufacturer defect, which is kind of what I'm thinking, because so many people have this problem with their pen. There are a few people out there that didn't have trouble from what I could see, but for a lot of people, I could see that this pen did not work. And I'll more than not have this same kind of problem with the paper. And the paper is square, so it's not like a huge issue in terms of it's misshapen or anything like that. It's just put in there incorrectly, and then like I said, mine actually hangs off the edge, so it's not even going to be protected by the backer at this point. But that is those are the 2 items that I said I'm glad that they are mentioning it to their manufacturer, but these kind of problems have been problems almost every single quarter. I thought they were starting to get better, and they just still are having trouble. So I don't know what the answer to that is, but I will say, just as a plug and kind of a point of frustration for me personally, is you have these packaging things that they're foiled and they're holographic and they're beautiful and they're expensive packaging for the items, and the items themselves are subpar in my opinion. So I would appreciate like cheaper packaging and actual higher quality product, personal opinion. Just going to leave it at that. So, but I will say, I do want to give their customer service the credit that they deserve. They're very prompt. They're very helpful. They do try to make it right. I just really, I didn't need them to make things right so many times. So again, I did for these 2 items. I'm not sure if it was for one item in particular or just the conglomeration of the situation. I did get a $15 refund. So I'll just leave it at that for those 2 particular items. The next item I was kind of excited about because I love square notebooks. And so this is a different size though. So my other squares are, I think 8 by 8 or 10 by 10, can't remember. Which I love. It's actually what I'm using right now for my planner is a square notebook. I really like that. This one is a 7 by 7. And at first blush, it's okay. The problem that my personal preference, again, this is my personal preference. I buy this quarterly subscription box. So I'm just going to give you my honest opinion on what I got it's a soft cover. And I'm not a fan of soft color covers, especially for something that I'm going to be using as my planner. I just don't like it. I like to be able to take this, take it wherever I am, be able to write without feeling like I have to have something underneath it to secure it. I will say though, that for the soft cover journals, a lot of times when you get those, they do not lie flat when you open them. But because of the way that these are stitched, they will lie flat. So if you have it on your desk, it is going to be able to be flat, which is, kind of a signature thing with Archer and Olive notebooks. And so that is something that's important to me. So I do appreciate that it is like that. But one of the reasons I do not like soft covers is, I don't know if you can see, it's already starting to dent right here. And it's kind of worse on this back cover. I don't know if you can kind of see that. And I tend to add things like stickers and different things to my journals. Oh. Well, that just happened. That was real time, friends. So my my little binder thing came off out of the out of the thing. This is what I'm talking about. I don't even know what to say at this point, so I'm gonna have to email them again, and I will send them a picture of that. But anyway, this is not my favorite journal, and this is why, is because you can see the damage that happens to the covers. Like I said, I add things in, and I can imagine that as I would be adding things, they do get a little bit chunkier as you're using them, and it's just going to create more pressure on these points right here with the band if your band stays in place, which mine did not. And it might have been on here too tight, which is why it caused the problem here, and also why it wouldn't stay in the cover. So I will also be emailing them about this journal. So you saw it here first, friends. This is what I'm talking about. So there you go. Let me set that off to the side. Like I said, at this point, I don't know. They did include a journal cover in the past. Whenever we've given feedback for the subscriptions, there's always usually like a form and stuff that you can do. I personally, covers are not a favorite thing for me to come in the subscription boxes, but again, that being said, I know a lot of people love them, and so this is just my own personal preference, mostly because I don't tend to use an A5, and I just don't use the covers. I just find them to be a little bit cumbersome, especially because it's already got like the the elastic band on there and everything. So this one is kind of like a champagne-y gold kind of color. I'm not going to open this because I'll probably honestly try to sell it in the trade group, but you can kind of see it has, trying to keep the glare off of it, but it has just the moon and the stars, and there's like the cloud motif down here along the bottom here with their Archer and Olive symbol down here in the corner. And that will fit an A5 journal. I'm trying to, it looks like it snaps closed. I wasn't going to open it, but yeah, it's a snap closure. So that is the A5 journal cover. And then the last item, which I will say, again, I do want to try to give positive things as well, so you don't think I'm just bashing this company that I've used for so many years. But one of the things that I do appreciate is that we multiple times through the course of all of these subscription boxes that I have personally gotten, we've given feedback that we want, you know, more journals in there. So I'm happy that there's at least 2 in this one. But this journal, I'm trying to get some of the packaging this month. I just had a hard time. You can see I've already opened it up, but it is this beautiful purple cover, which I actually really, really love this cover. And this would probably be my favorite, except that it's got navy blue pages. But you can see what I'm talking about here with the light dots on here, where you could actually, you know, see to use them versus the navy blue and the Notepad that you can't actually see the dots. But as a general rule, dark papers are not, they're not my thing. They're not my jam. Don't really like them at all. I do have a couple blackout journals from times past that I've used or purchased, and they're just not my favorite thing. I know for some people, they are, but like, I just get tired of it. It really, I feel like just limits what I can do for my bullet journal. I tend to do more artistic type things in mine as well. And so, being stuck with navy blue for, you know, as long as it's going to take me to get through all of these pages is just not something, like, I don't mind it once in a while, but it's not something, I don't want to have to use it for my daily planner. Again, personal preference. There are a lot of people out there that are super excited about this particular notebook. I personally would have just preferred it to be white. If it was white, this would be probably my favorite, just because I really love the light purple cover. Hopefully this band will stay in place. But this is a hardcover. I love Archer and Olive journals. Like I said, I've been using them. I've used them for years and years and years for my personal planner. And then I have all of the subscription boxes except the very, very first one. And if you've seen my other unboxings, like I said, I've had mixed feelings about them. They've changed some of the things. Like I would have actually paused this subscription for this kit, because I knew that it was not going to be my favorite. But that's no longer an option. You have to stop your subscription and then restart it down the road. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get, you know, the same price and that kind of thing if you do it that way, especially for me, because I've grandfathered in at that price point from before. So that's why I did not. I figured I would just take my chances, and hopefully I'll be able to resell some of these items that are not my favorite. I know that seems kind of callous maybe, but that is just how I'm feeling about it. And so again, it is that same, you know, pretty thick paper and everything that I do love about Archer and Olive. I'm just not a fan of the dark paper. So, and I don't know if I've ever pointed this out, but as an added feature, they do have the folders in the back as well as a pen loop on here, and then the closure. And so I guess I will be needing to email them once again about this other journal. So you know, the issue, again, like I have mentioned this multiple times before, my issue is that there are like eight items in this box, and I have problems with 3 of them. So, you know, take that information for what you mean. I like I said, though, I still use an Archer and Olive journal as my planner. It's still my go-to planner. I love the quality of the paper. I love the fact that it doesn't bleed through. I just think that maybe, you know, my subscriptions to the sub boxes, maybe that's just not a thing for me. I just need to buy what I need instead of, you know, trying to get some of these kind of fun items in this way. But that's something I'm gonna have to do a little bit of thinking about. Like I said, after the last quarter with a library theme, I was so excited about that one. It was so beautiful, and I loved that theme so much. And so I was really like, oh, we're back to kind of the way they were in the beginning. And now again, we're back to 3 out of 8. So anyway, if you have made it this far in this video, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope that it doesn't seem like I'm coming across too negatively. I do want to, there are things that I definitely love about Archer and Olive and the quality of their journals. So I just, you know, take all of that with a grain of salt. At the same time, just want to keep it real. This is the situation. You saw it break here, and I haven't even used it yet. So anyway, if I do appreciate you taking time to watch this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until next time, bye.